Good day, everyone, and greetings from Bratislava. I've just arrived here. This is the central bus station, as you might guess from all these buses that are sitting around. These are Slovak Lines buses. I was just dropped off down there. That's where the buses drop people off so that they can disembark from their buses. Obviously, there are lots more buses over there. And so I've just climbed up the stairs. I went upstairs, and there's this little sort of hall here. There's like a little, sort of like a mini mall. It's almost like a flea market or something in this little hallway that you see here. So yeah, Bratislava is the capital of Slovakia, which is today independent after having been forcibly united with the Czech Republic in what was then Czechoslovakia for quite a while under communism. This is an autoškola. I don't speak Slovak, but I am pretty much 100% certain that that means a driving school, because it's basically the same as in Russian. In Russian it's autoškola, or something like that. Or is it autoškola? I don't even remember now. Something like that, pretty close to that. Anyway, so I just arrived here. Hold on, sorry. Sorry, I had a bit of a luggage malfunction. So, I have just arrived here in Bratislava. This is a place that I wanted to go for a while but haven't really been to. This is the sort of the forgotten, sort of neglected child of the Western Slavic countries. I'll go ahead and walk around just so I'm not standing in this one spot constantly. So yeah, basically there are three West Slavic countries. There's Poland, there's the Czech Republic, and there is Slovakia. All of them speak their own language, but the languages are closely related to each other. Slovakia is the only one of the three that currently uses the euro for the currency. The Czech Republic uses the krona, and Poland uses, what is it, the zloty or something like that. So, traveling here is convenient in that sense that you don't need to change your money if you're, if you live within the Eurozone. What's very interesting about Slovakia is that it is a country fundamentally not served by a major airport. There is an airport here in Bratislava, but the majority of flights go to, it has an almost unbelievably limited range of flights. There are flights to the UK. I believe there are also flights to some of the other countries towards that direction, like the Netherlands and I think maybe Belgium, I'm not sure. But Bratislava and most of Slovakia actually doesn't really have air service to a lot of international destinations, which is kind of shocking, because it is, as you can see, fairly modern city. I mean, it's a member of the European Union, member of the Eurozone. Like I said, the first West Slavic country to join the Eurozone. But it's been having some problems. It just never really had the international attention that Poland or the Czech Republic got. And I'm kind of liking that. Those of you who watched my video of me going to Prague might recall that I kind of complained about the sort of takeover of tourist culture in Prague. Man, look how many buses they have here. All these buses just lined up, and wow. Oh, there's a streetcar with a electric, what do you call those things? Oh, there's another one. So, I mean, Prague was nice, don't get me wrong. I really liked Prague, but I was kind of dismayed by just the whole takeover of American sort of McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken, consumerist culture there. Slovakia is relatively neglected, and it's relatively, you know, it feels like almost like the land that time forgot. But in a sense that works out well, because that means that you can come here and get a more authentic sense of that sort of classic Eastern Central European sort of culture, as opposed to Prague, which, you know, has sort of been taken over. Slovakia is so isolated. Like, it's not geographically far away. The way that I came here is I actually flew into Vienna. I flew to, if you ever come here to Bratislava, the best thing to do is probably to fly to Vienna and take a bus. I took a bus, the fare was like €8. So for €8, you can take a bus from Vienna airport straight here to Bratislava. The trip only takes 1 hour. The two cities are like 40 miles apart, so they're not that far apart at all. The bus trip took 1 hour, and there was free Wi-Fi on the bus, which was kind of cool, although the Wi-Fi was so slow it was almost unusable. But anyway, I mean, still €8 for a, you know, connecting trip, that's not bad. I'd like to be able to see the rest of Slovakia. I'm not going to be able to do that on this trip because Slovakia is so isolated, but Bratislava is convenient because it's so close to Vienna. So if you're ever in Vienna, you really should check out Bratislava, at least spend like a day here, which is what I'm going to do. I mean, if you live in North America or somewhere else far away, you probably wouldn't, you know, come here. You wouldn't fly overseas just to take a vacation here. But if you ever are in Austria or some other nearby place, I think it's worth checking out Slovakia, at least Bratislava. I think the rest of Slovakia is even more authentic and more old-fashioned and more kind of untouched by modern civilization. But I don't speak Slovak, and Bratislava, by virtue of the fact that it borders Austria, probably has a lot of people who speak German. And my German is not great, but it's at least, I think, good enough to the point now where I can at least say some functional phrases in German. So I would be a little bit scared of going farther inland into Slovakia, because I'd be in a place where I really wouldn't speak the language and there wouldn't be necessarily great transport connections. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now. I just want to get like a zoomed shot of... oh boy, how's it going to... Yikes. It's kind of hazy today. I don't know if this will show up. I can see it, but it's not showing up very well on my camera's viewfinder, so I'm not sure if you folks can see that too well. There's a big tower over there. I believe it's just like a... I believe it's like a radio tower, TV tower, something like that. I can see it pretty clearly in real life, but on the camera's you know, little mini screen, it's not showing up at all. But it's kind of cool. It's way up there on a hill. Slovakia has interesting geography because it's very mountainous, and driving here into Bratislava on the bus was just awesome. It was, I think, you know, buses get a bad rap because they're slow. And it's true, they are, and they're restricted by traffic, so if you hit traffic, it's going to be even slower. But the view on the bus is just so much more scenic than what you would get from riding a train. If you ride a train, you aren't going to see anything. I mean, honestly, if on a train you just see open fields and it goes through the tunnels, but a bus will hit the cities and, you know, will go through these little small towns along the way, and you get to see all the, you know, you don't just see the train station, but you actually see the streets as the bus is winding through the streets of these small towns, and that is just awesome. That is like hardcore awesome. I think that I'm actually sold on this whole idea of taking bus trips. I think the next time I take a long trip, I might want to do it with a bus instead of flying, because flying is actually not very scenic. I mean, you can, it's scenic in the sense that you can see things from high up, but you're so high up that you can't really see details on the ground. But the bus, man, just this 1 hour bus trip from Vienna to Bratislava was so cool. I was just so into it. I was like, wow, I see all these, you know, you see these little tiny Austrian villages on the way and these farmers' fields and stuff like that. It was awesome. So I think if nothing else, I've learned that when you're a tourist, taking a bus is the way to go. I think, you know, there's this sort of stereotype of the train trip through Europe, like you're supposed to take a train through Central Europe and see France and Germany and all that, but I think a bus is the way to go if you really want to see like if you don't just want to see the big cities and want to see like the small towns as well. Pretty cool. Okay, I'll stop now. I'm going to try and catch some other stuff here in Bratislava other than the station, obviously. I'm already picking up on a bunch of contrasts between here and other places that I've been. I just wanted to point this out. Check this out. See that? On this is like a ticket vending machine, I think. I'm guessing that's what it is. And notice the text. If the green light is on, the machine is okay. This kind of thing just wouldn't fly in Germany. In Germany, they wouldn't have a light on the machine telling you if it's working, because it would just be assumed that it is working, and if it ever was not working, then the immediate reaction would be, how is the machine not working? It needs to be fixed immediately, and somebody needs to be executed for allowing it to stop working. So, you know, this is not, that's just not something that you would see in Germany, ever. The relative lack of organization is also apparent in the fact that places here don't sell city maps. I went inside and I asked around, is there a place around here where I can buy a map of Bratislava? And they were all, no, you're going to have to make it on your own. You're going to have to find your way to the city center and buy a map there. Which, I mean, I guess I should have gotten a map before coming here. I just kind of, for some reason, I just assumed that a bus station with all these shops would have a map available for sale, but they don't. So I'm going to have to try and wing it and try to find my way to the center by myself with just a vague idea of what direction it's in. And the reason actually that I wanted to buy a map here is because I figured it would be cheaper. Things definitely, as soon as you go over the border, you notice a massive difference in prices. I bought this half-liter bottle of 7-Up out of a vending machine here for only €1. I guarantee you, in any place like this in Germany or Austria, it would have cost easily twice as much. Probably more than that. It would have cost like €2.50 for something like that in Germany or Austria. So yeah, things are cheaper here, definitely, but they still use the euro, so you don't have to change your money, and yet you can get all the same stuff for cheaper, which is awesome. But you can't get a map here, so I'm going to have to find one. So here is a statue of a guy pointing up. I don't know if he's pointing at that ear, or maybe just at the balcony. He also appears to be... So I'm a little confused as to what he's riding. I thought at first it looked like bicycle handlebars, but then I saw that it has a headlight, and I thought it's a motorcycle. But then I realized, you know, he's got that kind of a bell on the handlebars. It's got to be a bicycle, and I think the light is actually to illuminate the text down here. So I don't know who Julius Zadinsky was. But the 3 quotes below his name are written in, well, the first 2 languages I don't recognize. The third is German. It says, Auf unserer Straße ist Freiheit, which means on our street is freedom. So there you go. He bicycles and he points at the sky for freedom. Or maybe he's pointing up towards freedom. Maybe he's saying that freedom is up in the sky, kind of like the Heaven's Gate people. No, probably not. I think that's probably not the case, but I still have no idea who he is. Sorry. Here we can see the construction of a structure. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. Is it a church, or it looks like a church, but it might not be. But I'm assuming it probably is. It has that double cross on the top, which is sort of, that's on the Slovakian flag, and it's sort of a widely seen symbol of Slovakia. Okay, so I'm still lost. I've been walking around for a while trying to get to the city center, and I still have no idea where I am. Well, I'm in front of this church. I don't know what church that is. I'm assuming that's a church because it has a cross on the top, so it's probably a church. But yeah, I still really don't know where I am. Those bells that I think just stopped. Those bells that were ringing, I think, signify noon. I think it just rang 12 o'clock noon here. And yeah, I'm trying to... I don't even know what that building is over there. Check that out. Stara something? Stara means old in Russian, so I'm gonna guess it probably means the same thing in Slovak. Oh hey, there's a toilet there, check it out. Public toilet, Windsor Castle. I'm gonna go ahead and check out this Stara thing, this old thing, and see what that's all about. But I'm still lost in Bratislava. Okay, so this Stara thing turned out to be the Stara Držnica. I don't know what a Držnica is. I can pronounce it, but I'm good at pronouncing things in foreign languages. I'm just not good at understanding them. This is a nice little plaza, very pleasant fountain happening there. Very nice all around. Nice place to sit down and chill out for a few minutes. I'm really liking the feel here, actually. You know, I tend to like these neglected, sort of out-of-the-way places because they, like I said, you know, they give you a more genuine feel for what a place is really like. You know, I feel a great sort of sense of pleasure when I go to Austria because it's like Germany except less commercial. You know, there's less of an emphasis on business and tourism, and it's more just about community and people. And you know, Austria is smaller, and so it's more like a community than like a huge you know, major economic power. And it's kind of the same thing here. Prague is beautiful, but it's sort of become like I've said many times before, a tourist haven, whereas Bratislava is kind of neglected, and so you come here and you get the real authentic sort of Slavic experience. You get these places where you know, you don't see a lot of tourists walking around, you don't get a lot of touristy places. It's just a place where you go to see everyday people living their regular lives. And, you know, the language is so foreign. I mean, the language is obviously Slavic, and so the language feels so different, and you get this immediate sense of being in such a very foreign place. And I've already discovered that my initial impressions were wrong. For some reason I thought that a lot of people here would speak German, just by virtue of the fact that Bratislava borders Austria and is like, you know, 40 miles away from the Austrian capital, but no. Actually, Slovakians appear to be surprisingly unilingual. So, anyway, oh hey, there's the... I still haven't found a map, but this sign tells me how to get to the Hrad. The Hrad, which is obviously castle in English, is like the, you know, the prime tourist attraction here in Bratislava. So if I just follow that sign, I guess I can find Bratislavski Hrad and get my big, you know, touristy shot out of the way. And then I don't know what I'll do. I'm just planning on being here in Bratislava for one day. I'm not going to be here longer than that, so it's going to be just like a day trip. I'm just looking around, but I'm liking it. It's, like I said, it's like Prague, except less artificial. There's less of this sort of touristy kind of attempt to appeal to foreigners, and it's more just like a self-contained community, which is nice. I like that. Okay, I'm not sure where I ended up now. I don't think this is Bratislavski Hrad. I don't know if I took a wrong turn or if if this is a different Hrad from the one I was thinking of. This here appears to be the, judging by the sign, it appears to be the Museum of City History, which is nice. And it also is written upside down there for some reason. I guess to Slovaks, English is an upside down language. But yeah, I mean, you've got the flags here. The center flag there is the flag of Slovakia, and on the right, that's, I guess, Poland. Is this like some, what is this? Some Polish-Slovak relations agency? I don't know. I really, I am so lost. I have no idea where I am. But the architecture is nice. Pretty good, pretty nice buildings. And I guess that's probably a nice museum. I'm guessing. I haven't been there, but I'm sure it's probably okay. And is this, hold on. Wait a minute. Ternavska is that a university? Like I'm guessing by the text it's like the theological faculty of a university. Is this a university building? I don't know. I'm gonna try to check it out. So I walked through that doorway that mentioned the museum, and I appear to be in a courtyard, which I guess the courtyard is part of the museum or associated with the museum. I'm really not sure, but this is like the most courtyardy courtyard ever. It's like an actual courtyard. It's like an actual Central European sort of medieval courtyard or something. Except there are no horses. And here we go. You walk through and you get another nice little plaza. So yeah, I guess there's not much to be said. There's some kind of a columnar column of something there. Over there, is that that's the French flag, so I'm going to assume that's the French embassy or consulate, maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong. And that's obviously the Japanese flag. Is this the Japanese embassy? I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing. Why else would there be a Japanese flag there? Maybe that's where all the maybe that's where they make all the hentai. That's where all the Slovakian hentai gets made. I'm actually not completely convinced that Slovakian hentai exists. That's probably a concept I just made up. Back there, there's some nice big tower. Apparently the child to my right objects. He does not like the tower. Or is it a she? I'm not sure. Some small child objected when I mentioned the tower, but I'm sorry, child, I'll talk about the tower anyway. Actually, I'm done talking about the tower now. Here's a better look at this nice little fountain. It's kind of nice. This building doesn't say what it is. Unless it says, oh, does it say hold on, sorry. Does it say on that plaque there? Well, if the European Union flag would kindly stop covering it, or I could just walk over, I guess. That works, I can still walk. Well, I'm guessing it's got to be the consulate. What else would it be? Oh yeah, there we go. Chancellerie diplomatique, okay, whatever. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the French diplomatic consulate. And here's a Thai infusion restaurant. Yeah, I'm kind of digging this. There's a little more variety here than I thought there would be. It's pretty cool. Here's a monument to Bernard Lac, whose identity is not known to me. But here's the source of that big tower that made the child cry a while ago. This large-ish structure is obviously a church. I'm not very good with architecture, but I think even I can just sort of infer that by its architecture. And if I walk around to a more advantageous place for filming, you can get a better view of the tower. I think this is actually, I'm sorry, I'm so ignorant, I'm useless as a tour guide, but I think this is actually one of the more important tourist landmarks. This church is actually like a significant tourist draw here in Bratislava. I actually seem to recall seeing a picture of this place online when I was reading about the city. So I think this is one of the big attractions, this huge church. Here's a slightly more unobstructed view of the tower and its environs from the side. And that over there, ladies and gentlemen, I am pretty sure is our first peak at Bratislavski Hrad. You can just see the the tops of the towers there. You don't really see much of it, but on that tall hill is the that's the castle. That's the big draw here. And if I had any doubt, this sign seems to pretty well bear out my theory. So I came from the Hlavnian Namestia, the main square, and I'm going to the Hrad. Also worth noting, you can't see it right now because it's behind this sort of pavilion thing, but if I walk around the pavilion, you will see that this appears to be some kind of a... is this a synagogue? I don't even know. I'm not sure what's the story with that, but that's my next destination now. I'm going to try and walk up this huge hill to get to the Hrad, so we'll see how that goes. Will the climb kill me, or will I get an awesome shot of the city? Stay tuned and find out. Okay, I haven't made it very far. The castle is behind all this. You can't see it now because it's behind these buildings. But I just want to take a moment to film this from here. I'm going to probably get a better shot of this from higher up, assuming I manage to get higher up. But this is the famous bridge. I believe it's called Nowy Most in Slovak. And that is a restaurant. This is probably, after the castle, this is second to the castle in terms of being a recognizable landmark. This is the second most famous and touted landmark of Bratislava. That is a restaurant on the top of the bridge, and the restaurant is, as I understand it, appropriately called UFO. So it doesn't just look like a flying saucer, they actually named it after a flying saucer, so they knew what they were doing. You know what you're doing, take off every zig. Well, now it's time for me to take off up this hill. Check it out, they're re-roofing this side of the church roof. See, these guys are putting those red tiles on the roof. You see above, that's probably what it's supposed to look like when it's done, but down here they've got a bunch of tiles that they're putting up. And down here there's more. There's all these pallets of tiles waiting to be put up. Pretty cool. You can see you can sort of see the underpinnings of the roof and what goes underneath those tiles. Kind of neat. I swear it never stops. I just turn around the corner and now I've got another view. Now I've got a nice shot of this whatever that is. That's probably also a church. And just this nice quiet little street. This is just a very picturesque little sort of quiet side street like you see in just like you see in those tourist photographs. It's kind of nice. Check it out. Purely by accident, I happened upon the Mestska Knjižnica. That might not mean anything to you until you see the sign down there. It's the city library. Book is knigi in Russian, so I'm guessing that Knjižnica is like a bookery or a book place or something like that in Slovak. And Mestska probably just means city. So yeah, this is the Bratislava City Library. It is just about, I think this takes the cake. I think this wins the prize for the most quaint, the most sort of rustic, and just sort of old-fashioned kind of looking library that I've ever seen. At least in terms of central libraries. I'm assuming that this is well, this is probably just one branch. This probably isn't like the only library in the city, but it just streaks of like a small town library as opposed to like one of the huge sort of massive university libraries that you tend to see in other cities. Pierko was here. Pierkele. Good for you, Pierko. So were several other people. This, I'm not sure what this is all about. That's a representation of that bridge that I was just filming a while ago. The Angličtiny. I'm gonna guess that Angličtiny is English. I don't know what this English language center is at the bridge, but I guess if you go to those URLs, you might find out. There's a map showing something. I'm not sure what it's supposed to show. This is an Italian fine art gallery, I guess. I just like the fact that this on this street, the names of the street. Okay, first of all, so over there is the name of the street, and I'm pretty sure that's got to be Slovak because that's like an official sign. So, Kapučinska ulica? I guess ulica is street, it's ulica in Russian. Then at the top there you see a slightly different language, which I'm guessing is probably Czech. Kapučinus utka? I don't know what else it might be. I mean, I guess it could be Polish. I'm assuming it's got to be either Polish or Czech. And then at the bottom it has the name in German, Kapuciner Gaze. So this street has like the names given in 3 languages. So there's a lot of oh, check it out. And this building is also Leet. So it's a Leet building with a street that has 3 names, or 3 that's named in 3 languages. It's pretty cool. Oh yeah, and there's the castle still peeking out over the top. I'm still gonna try to walk that way. Somebody mentioned in a recent video of mine, I think on one of my Paris videos, that I really like bridges. I do. The reason why I like to take shots like this from bridges is because a bridge usually goes over something, and so it usually gives you sort of a better view. I mean, if you're just, in the middle of a street, there are usually buildings around, but in a bridge like this, you can usually kind of see sort of, at least something. At least you can kind of see something that the bridge passes over, and this seems like a pretty decent view to me. Usually bridges give you a decent view over whatever it is they're passing over. I'm probably not going to go there, but I'm guessing the presidential palace in that direction. Oh, maybe this here might be the presidential palace. I'm not sure. Or maybe it's that. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what building's what, but I'm probably not going to go there, but wow, check out that car. If I were a little more ignorant of national flags, I would say that car is painted to resemble the tricolor of some country's flag, but I think that's just the color it ended up. But it's a pretty cool paint job. I approve of that. So I found some stairs, which I climbed up, but the climb's not over yet. The path still goes on up that way, but that's getting up into the castle there. I just want to take a moment to look at these people's balconies. Look at how many people actually have, I guess it doesn't show up that much from that building, but it just seems to me that there are a lot of people around here who have, flowers and stuff like that growing on their balconies. In most places that I've lived, that's kind of cliche. The idea of growing flowers on your balcony is like this idea from a previous century that people just don't do anymore. It's this ridiculously sort of charming and quaint concept that people write about in storybooks. But here it's almost like people are like, screw you, modernity, we're going to grow flowers on our balconies if we want to. You can't stop us. So yeah, I'll keep going. The climb continues. Actually, I think I took a wrong turn, because from here the path just goes down. It looks like this just goes around the castle, so I might try going back that way and see if I can circle around to the left. This would be a good place to look down over this section of the city if all these trees weren't in the way. You can kind of see a little bit of a view of that there, but that's not really much of a view, frankly. Okay, I finally found the entrance. I don't know what's up with these police officers. There are like 2 police officers there in white-colored uniforms, and then there are all these guys here in dark-colored uniforms. I'm not sure. I mean, they obviously are from different divisions, but I'm not sure. Are one of them like the tactical police or something? I don't know. Anyway, so this is the a map and some history in Slovak, English, and German. The Bratislava Castle has been... I'm probably not going to read all that. I'm hoping that you folks can make that out. If you want to read that, you can pause the video. Basically, the first written record of the castle dates back to the year 907 AD. Oh, the castle was burnt down in 1811, and it was only reconstructed in 1953. Okay, so this version of the castle is actually relatively recent. It's only like 50-some years old, or a little over 50 years old. Okay, so it's not like an authentic old castle, but I guess it's made to look authentic. I guess it's made to look like a pretty decent reconstruction. So here's a nice little courtyard on the way up. So if you get tired, you can sit down here and have a rest. I don't know if that's an art studio or what. Those easels inside make it look kind of like it might be an art gallery of some kind, but I'm not sure if that's what it is. But I'll keep going. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm guessing is like the big, the big fancy gateway entrance into Bratislavski Hrad. And there's some statue here of some guy on a horse holding up something, I don't know. And I don't know what that says, but that's okay, because it looks nice anyway, regardless of what the text might say. And here is the view. Oh my goodness, we are, I'm pretty high. I didn't realize, that could be taken a couple of ways. I didn't mean it in like the, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty elevated in terms of my height. So here we go. There you can see Nowy Most, which I believe just means new bridge, because it is relatively new. There are other bridges down there. You can see it's not, this is not the only bridge in the world, or in Bratislava. And again, there's the, the restaurant at the top that I believe is called UFO. I believe that's actually the name of the restaurant. And this is, unless I'm greatly mistaken, unless I am like completely delusional, I'm pretty sure this is the River Danube, which is known as the Donau in German, and unfortunately I don't know what it's called in Slovak, but I'm sure it probably has its own distinctive name in Slovak. So you can obviously get a ridiculously awesome view of the city from here. Again, it's a little hazy today, the air is not as clear as it could be, so I don't know how well this is going to come out in terms of my camera rendering all this. I tried to catch a view of this castle from when I was on the bus. Way down, you can, I think the bus comes from that direction. So see where all those, again, I don't know if they'll show up, but down there where the camera is pointing, there are a whole bunch of windmills, like electric wind turbines, and I think the bus came from that direction, and you could see a great view of this castle from down there. And I tried to film it, but it just didn't show up very well on my camera, unfortunately. I tried to film it out the window of the bus, but it didn't really show up too well. But if you do that, if you ride the bus from Vienna to here on a clear day, you'll get a nice view of the castle, and then if you climb up to the castle, you will get a nice view down into the city. So I think, wow, there's a nice little sitting place down there too. This is all very quaint. This is all very charming. I mean, I'm really liking this. I think I'm done for the most part. I actually ended up filming a lot more of Bratislava than I intended. I just kind of thought, okay, I'll film the castle and the bridge and that'll be it. I am impressed. I have to say, I'm really impressed with how nice the city is, and it's so peaceful. I mean, that's the thing about this place, is it's it's not swarming with people. I mean, Bratislava is not a huge city. It's about 500,000 people, I think. It's the capital of Slovakia. It's by far the largest city in Slovakia, but it's still kind of small, and it's relatively untouched, and even though it's, you know, it has a high standard of living and all that, it still just feels so old-fashioned and so removed. It's like, almost like stepping back in time, which is what Prague is supposed to be. I mean, the thing is, when you go to Prague, the architecture gives you that sense of stepping back in time. The architecture gives you this feel of some, you know, 15th century Central European capital. But everything else about it, like the people and the shops and everything, just lends it a very modern, very sort of, you know, 20th century capitalist, touristy kind of tourist trap feel. I don't get as much of that here. I mean, obviously it's kind of, you know, there are some touristy places here, but this just feels more like a relatively pristine Slavic city that has been left to its own, to live its own life. By the way, the name, if, I don't know if I mentioned it already, the name of the country, Slovakia, means Slavic in, you know, the Slovak language, so, you know, this is, which is kind of appropriate, because this sort of captures, I think this captures fairly well the spirit of a Slavic city, with its emphasis on community and, you know, on people. This is probably the most Slavic city I've been to since I left Russia. And, you know, Slavic people are not, they're not as orderly as the Germans. They don't place this emphasis on doing everything according to a set of rules. They just kind of, you know, they let things roll. They just, the emphasis in Slavic society has always been on people. And, you know, around here it's okay if the green light on the machine goes out, because it's not the end of the world, you know. So the machine breaks down and you don't get a ticket for your bus or whatever, and you end up stranded. But so what? Life is good, life is quiet, life is peaceful. Except when that happens. I guess life isn't peaceful when some guy drives by on a tractor. But after he passes by, then, you know, life goes back to being quiet again. It's nice. There are certainly touches of modernity here and there. Wow, check out that, that ship. Is that... Looks like that ship is trying to turn around on the river or something. Anyway, I think I'm done. I think I am finished with Bratislava. Like I said, I ended up filming more of it than I thought I would, and I really liked it. I mean, I have to say, if you know, this probably isn't the place that you would come to from far away, just specifically to come here. But if you're ever in the area, if you're ever in Vienna, you basically have no reason to not take the 1-hour trip to come here and see, you know, an authentic sort of medieval Slavic city that still has all these touches of history and historic sort of living around it. So yeah, I am going to head back. You know what? I still don't have a map. I walked all the way here from the bus station, just following the signs and sort of trying to figure out, just following the landscape, because obviously the castle's on the top of a huge hill, so I just kind of walked where the hill was, but I have no idea how I'm going to get back. I need to walk back that way towards the city, because I need to get back to the bus station to get back to Vienna tonight. I have no idea how I'm going to find my way there, since I don't have a map. I guess I can just ask people or just figure it out. I don't know what I'll do. Okay, unless I find something else really interesting to film, I think I'll leave it at this. Thanks for watching, everyone. And this isn't actually the end of my trip. I mean, I didn't come here just to go to Slovakia. I also intend to go to, I intend to pass back through Austria and try to go to Ljubljana in Slovenia, which I don't know if that'll work out, but I'm hoping to do that on this trip. So I have some more traveling to do yet, but I think I'm done with Bratislava for now. Thank you, Bratislava, for a very nice day, a very pleasant walk, and just overall a very pleasant experience. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you are all doing well, and I hope that you enjoyed. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.